glad to be here for this morning, and today I would like to present you about how to build a responsive UI with constraint layout. And my name is Ratna, and I am also Android developer. So here is our content that we are going to talk about. The first thing is that we talk about what is the definition of a constraint layout. Second, we're talking about when, why we use constraint layout in an Android application. Third, we're talking about parent position. Fourth, order position. Fifth, what is alignment. Sixth, baseline alignment. Here is the first topic that we're going to talk about, the definition of a constraint layout. Constraint layout allows us to create large and complex layouts with a flat view hierarchy known as the view group. As you know that before we build UI with a linear layout, frame layout, or relative layout, and sometimes we have a lot of nested view in it. So right now constraint layout can fix this issue. And the second thing is that constraint layout also Android Studio also provide a layout editor for building constraint layout by just drag and drop instead of editing the XML. But for me, as I experience, I like to use editing the XML rather than drag and drop. I drag and drop sometimes, but drag and drop is fast, but we need to do some editing on that. So here's the sample of a constraint layout. We have 3 buttons and they are constrained to each other. So you already know the constraint layout. Here is the second point. We are talking about when and why we use constraint layout in Android application. Number one is that they not recommend us to use a constraint layout as a nested layout unless it is absolutely required. So this phrase means that we can use a constraint layout as a nested, but they not recommended. And the second thing we talk about, also a constraint layout can be a responsive UI. What do I mean by that? Before, I think if you are from the web developer field, you will have a hard time to build a layout that can support multi screen, like for mobile phone, for tablet, for computer, something like that. So their screen is different. So for constraint layout, you just build only one layout and then it can support multiple screens. This is the advantages. And third, it decrease view hierarchy by avoid using nested layout. We can just build a constraint layout, just drag and drop in Android Studio. So number 3, we talk about parent position. What is a parent position? Parent position is that it's a constraint to the side of a view to the corresponding edge of the layout. So the red box represent the layout or parent layout, and the view A, the child, it represent can be a button or can be a text view, something like that. So it can, so the view A can constrain to the parent layouts. Example, can constrain to the left side or to the right side or to the top or to the bottom. And for here, normally if you constrain, it doesn't have the margin or any space, something like that. You need to add margin. So here, if you don't add margin, view A gonna be stay close to the next parent. So if you want some space like this, you need to add a margin. So let demo code. Here I have one button, and right now I can remove the constraint. Just for me on Mac, I just press command, see, and then I click, so it remove the constraint. So right now the button doesn't has any constraint. So if we follow our theory, talk about the parent position, so the view A aligned to the left side of the parents. So when here we can do the constraint, see. So right now we have the constraint to the left side of the parents, but it doesn't have any space like here. So if you want to define your space or distance, you can adjust a margin. So here we can add you can drag like this. So see, 120, so it's 100 dp from left side of the parent to the view. So the distance is 120 dp. You also define in code like 140 something like that. So see, it said that parent position is talk about the child view can constrain to any side of the parent. Sample can constrain to the left side of the parent, can constrain to the right side of parent, top from bottom, something like that. But it's the you take a look here, the button you take a look at the button, it's the error. So what it said about error, so you can press here to see more detail. I think normally constraint layout, they require two things. They require horizontal and vertical constraint. So right now we have only horizontal constraint. You see, if you want to have another one, is here to the top. So right now we have two constraints. We have horizontal constraint and vertical constraint. So the issue is gone. So when you build the layout, please be careful about this. We're talking about order position. What it means. Order position is talked about when we define the order of appearance for two views, either vertical or horizontal. Like here we have the black one is a parent layout. Here we have three buttons, button A, B and C. When we do the constraint from B to A and then B to A, for B it doesn't have it has only horizontal constraint, and for C it's constrained to the bottom of A. So right now it's using only vertical constraint. So for constraint layout, they recommend us use two constraints. One is horizontal and the other one is vertical. So let demo in code. Okay, we have three buttons. Control C, Control V. Okay, so I can say that btn1 is A, btn2 B, btn3 C. So I expect that this one have a top constraint, and let place it center. A is at the center. Right now let's follow our example here. It said that it has only single constraint to the right side of constraint A, so something like this. So right now see, and then it has some space, so we need to add some margin. Margin start 20 dp. See, we have, and C constraint to the bottom of A, so we give some margin constraint, margin top 20 dp as well. So right now you see that C is placing here, but at runtime it's not staying here. It will be at this, because they're using tool editors just for design purpose. If you remove here, you want to see, just remove this one. See, B is stay at the top because it doesn't have the top vertical constraint, and also C, it doesn't have the horizontal constraint, so it will be moved to the left. See, this one at runtime will be like this. So let's run the code. Emulator, see, at the runtime it will be staying here. So for the older position, they recommend us that we should use a horizontal constraint combined with a vertical constraint. And if you're missing one constraint, something like that, will be like in this video, in this example. For C, it's missing a horizontal constraint. For B, it's missing vertical constraint.